we going out there?
On schedule. Should hit land in about an hour.
Great.
The tusk of Ganesh. No wonder the Hoysala capital was ransacked. Look at this thing. Any luck?
I don't need luck.
I'd say we can use all the luck we can get.
Are you still hung up on Asav's so-called expert? Don't worry.
If Asav's not in the Gets already, he'll be right on our heels. Plus, he's got weapons, transports, hundreds of men.
Like I said, don't worry.
Looks like some kind of key.
Maybe. Let's see. Okay. The trident was Ganesh's weapon. The bow and arrow was Parashurama's. And the axe was a gift from Shiva. The great battle.
What?
The battle in which Ganesh lost his tusk. I bet we find these symbols. We find the tusk.
Not bad, Fraser.
Yeah, well. You can thank my dad for that. Hindu myths were his thing.
It rubbed off. You must be proud.
Sun's almost up.
I'll go get ready. Nice work.
It's a long way to go to settle an argument.
Just for my peace of mind, all right?
Well, nice view. And look. How weird. I'm sorry I doubted you, Chloe.
Is Hoysala?
Hoysala. It's not a modern structure, so we're definitely on the right track. What?
I don't like it.
You don't like anything.
No. We've gone nearly 100 kilometers with no sign of Asav.
Glass half full, maybe we got the jump on them.
Unlikely.
I'll find the tusk. Asav's on you.
Understood.
Right where I left.
Hey, what's up everyone? PersNikity here. Welcome back to the Uncharted Lost Legacy Crushing Difficulty walkthrough. We are moving on to Chapter 3, Homecoming. So this is a pretty cool chapter for a number of reasons. One, if you're a fan of the Jeep, which was a heavily used mechanic in Uncharted 4, if you're a fan of the Jeep, well, you're going to get to revisit those memories in this chapter here. Personally, I am not a fan of the Jeep. I'm not a fan of the bigger levels in Uncharted. That's part of the reason I fell in love with Uncharted back when it started in the first couple of games, because the levels were all pretty small, straightforward, and linear. Now, I'm not one, I'm not going to sit here and bash open world games. Just know that it's not my preference. I prefer, smaller, linear levels, like the earlier Uncharted games, maybe levels like Gears of War, if you can imagine things like that. Right now I'm playing The Evil Within, and those levels are all very nicely structured. There's a little bit of room for exploring, but for the most part there's one specified path. That's just what I prefer. And so when Uncharted 4 came out and introduced these giant maps, I wasn't a big fan. This map is not too bad, so the Jeep does work here. I enjoy riding along in the Jeep. There were a couple parts where it's pretty easy to get lost, and so I'm going to do my best to show you how to get past those parts. But this is also a fun level because this is the first level that you're going to experience some gun combat. So up until this point, we've only gotten a taste of stealth and fist-to-fist combat. This is the first level, so you're going to go to the left under this waterfall here, and you're going to find this little hidden cavern. So remember, you got to go through one of the waterfalls. It's the one on the far left, and then you'll be able to get back onto the path. So again, that's an area where you might spend a couple minutes trying to figure out where it is you need to go. But anyway, go ahead and get out of the Jeep at this location, and you're going to approach those gates up ahead, and that will trigger about a 1-minute cutscene.
The old capitals.
What have we got?
Halabadu and Balor.
I thought these were Ganesh and Shiva.
Someone's been paying attention. Ganesh was the guardian of Halabadu, the newer of the Hoysala capitals. Shiva was the guardian of the former capital, Balor.
Well, the stonework is beautiful. But this isn't much of a defensive wall.
Sculptor's quarters, by the look of it. We're still on the outskirts.
Didn't take you for an archaeologist.
That would be my dad, actually. I'm just a thief, remember? Hey, is the rental equipped with a winch?
Looks that way.
Great. That'll make short work of these gates.
What, you're just going to pull them down?
That's the plan, unless you brought dynamite.
This is your gig.
Take that as a no.
Alright, so get ready. You might want to familiarize yourself with the aiming buttons and just the sensitivity of the joystick, because this is where the first little firefight is going to ensue. Now, I'm going to give you some general strategies here. When it comes to Uncharted, it really just comes with practice. You get used to the gunfights and everything like that. But one of the best strategies you could do is utilize your AI partner. So check this out. Nadine is going to kill 2 of these guys right off the bat. I'm going to pop a quick headshot. Now there's 2 more guys up there. Now remember, on crushing mode, enemies throw grenades much more frequently. So you always have to evade those things. You saw how far I got away from that grenade, and it still did a lot of damage to me. But you see up here, Nadine is kicking ass, and she is a computer-controlled AI. And so she made my job really easy, because she's able to distract the enemies, so I can just pop a quick couple shots in there. And then another thing that the AI can do is sometimes your partner will grab an enemy from behind, and if that happens, all you have to do is shoot the enemy once, and it's an instant kill. So always, always, always pay attention to your AI partner. They will come in handy plenty of times on crushing. That's one thing that, even though I wasn't a huge fan of Uncharted 4, that's one thing I just tip my hat to Naughty Dog, is they are very good at programming the AI partners. And then another thing the AI partners will do is you can pay attention to their body language. If you're not sure if there's any more enemies left alive in a large area firefight, pay attention to your AI. Now real quick, you're going to take this path here. There's a ton of paths that lead you to a dead end or run you in a circle. You're going to look for that little bridge there, and that bridge will lead you into this cave with a bunch of bats flying around. Again, you might want to just rewind the footage if you find yourself getting lost. And then when you're driving up these muddy slopes, always pay attention to the terrain. You're going to look for the rocky terrain, because that's the only area that you can drive your Jeep up the hill. Now, once again, just follow the path. You'll go up this hill and trigger another short little cutscene.
That's soft.
Well spotted.
He's brought a whole battalion with him. Might even be more inside already.
Hey, I'm flattered that he's taking us so seriously.
We need to get through that gate.
All right, we'll slow down. We gotta take care of these jokers first.
You have a plan?
Yeah. Sure.
Alright, so here we go. This is our first real firefight of the game. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to abandon stealth. That's what I did in Uncharted 4. That's what you're going to want to do here. The enemy's senses are just way too high. Now immediately park your Jeep behind this rock structure. You'll see the 2 enemies walking off in the distance there. Go ahead and kill them. Now once they're dead, so you're going to see this guy, he's going to try to rush me. Go ahead and kill him. Now I'm going to go over to the right side of this structure, and lo and behold, this guy was trying to flank me, so I'm going to go ahead and take him out. I'm going to make sure no one else is trying to flank me at the moment, so I saw this guy right here. That's why it's always safe to double check. So I'm going to go ahead and kill him, sneak over to grab some ammo from that fallen soldier. Now I'm going to sneak around to the left side, and once again, someone was trying to flank me. So it's important to kind of cycle between the sides here and make sure no one's trying to get sneak up behind you. So you see there, I killed the guy. Now I'm going to double check, make sure no one is in distance or no one is in eyesight that's going to try to flank me. Then I'm going to come over to the right. Now eventually you're going to reach a point where no more enemies are charging you. All the enemies are going to be off in the distance. So what you're going to want to do is, if you have a weapon with some sort of scope on it, so I think I picked up the FAL, and you can see there's a sniper off in the distance, so I'm going to go ahead and use alternative cover and aim down my sights, boom, take him out with a headshot. Now remember, when I say alternative cover, that's something you're going to be using a lot in crushing mode. It's basically taking cover, but not as the game intends you to do. So the game wants you to take cover by pressing circle behind a wall, and you take cover. Alternative cover is when you stand behind some sort of structure and you peek around the corner, you rotate your camera so that you can shoot the enemies, but they're not quite able to shoot you. It's a very useful mechanic that you're going to see in all of my Uncharted walkthroughs. It's basically a necessity when you play on the harder difficulties. Now you see right here, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get a fix on the enemy. I'm standing behind this tree, and I can see where the gunshots are coming from. Now you're going to see I'm not actually able to shoot them from this far away because there's just too much shrubbery in my way. But it's important to know where the enemies are so that once I do make my move, I'll be ready. And notice here, I'm only getting shot at from the right. So what does that tell me? That tells me I can go to the left, basically unharmed, and try to flank them. Now like I said, you'll notice I completely abandoned stealth here. I did not even attempt it because on crushing mode, trust me, before I recorded this, I did try it on a stealth approach, and it just didn't work. It either takes way too long, it's very inconsistent, and like I said, the enemies just have such heightened senses that it makes it near impossible to get through a section with complete stealth. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do it. If you dedicate enough time and practice to it and really learn the routes of the enemies, you can do it, I'm sure you can. But in my opinion, it's better to just engage in a firefight. It's quicker, usually it's easier, it's way less frustrating, and there's usually a lot more strategy that can go into it. So again, like I said, I noticed that the enemies were only shooting me from the right here, so that's when I realized, oh, okay, I can flank left and finish the job. Now, the biggest question you might be asking is, why am I shooting the enemies from so far away? Like, why am I kind of standing on the outskirts of the map? And there's a good reason for that. On crushing mode, or maybe this is on every mode, but once you kill a certain amount of enemies, reinforcements are going to show up. And I think they already showed up. Nadine will warn you when they're showing up. But the point is, if I were to jump forward and engage the enemy on their terrain, once I kill enough of them, the reinforcements are going to show up, and they're basically going to spawn right on top of me, giving me hardly any maneuvering room. By shooting the enemies from far away, once those reinforcements spawn, I'm still at a very safe distance, and I don't have to worry about them spawning on top of me or them spawning behind me. So that's a very important strategy. Shoot from far away. Now, of course, the biggest thing that's going to come into play there is ammo conservation. If you shoot all the enemies from too far away, eventually you're going to run out of ammo, and that, you're going to eventually run out of ammo, and then you're not going to be able to get any more because all of the enemies are too far away. Now that trophy I got right there, I think what that is for being able to enter stealth again after being caught by the enemy. So basically, if the enemy sees you, if you're able to hide for a long enough time, you can actually re-enter stealth mode. And I think that's what that trophy is for. So I didn't intentionally get that, but oh well, you know, I plan on platinuming this game, so any help I can get along the way is very welcome. Now you're going to see here, the rest of the enemies are basically going to be right in front of you. They're going to be in the towers, they're going to be in the tall grass, but where I'm looking now, that's where the enemies that's where the reinforcements spawn from. So right here, I got a little aggressive. I thought I had killed everyone, but then you could see there was actually this guy that was trying to flank me on the right. So boom, I'm actually going to go ahead and now flank him from behind, take him out, and now I believe that is the last guy. And once again, you can always pay attention to the dialogue. So you're going to see right here, Nadine said, all right, we're clear. That's your clue. That tells you that you are, in fact, done with the firefight. That's something that Uncharted 4 started doing, is having audio cues telling you you're actually done with the fight. And there you have it, guys. This is a pretty tough fight, don't get me wrong. I spent about 10, 15, 20 minutes on it. But I think my strategy there is pretty effective. Shoot the first wave of enemies from far away, let the reinforcements come, and then flank left to finish the job. Shouldn't take you too long. You can see this video is under 17 minutes, and that included a 3-minute cutscene at the beginning of the video. So remember, in the firefights, my recommendation is usually just to go guns blazing. Don't even bother with stealth, but I'll leave that to you. Now you're gonna jump in the bed of this truck here, and you'll see this trunk with a silenced pistol in it. I'm actually gonna grab it just for the next level. You don't have to do that. So you'll see I have a silenced pistol and a sniper rifle. Right now, I'm not necessarily grabbing strategic weapons. I'm just grabbing weapons I enjoy using, weapons I feel comfortable with. So that's your main goal. Always take weapons you feel comfortable using. But then, like I said, the golden rule of Uncharted, always, always, always scavenge the field after a fight for grenades, for ammo. So you'll notice I have 4 grenades right now. I can't tell you how many times grenades saved my life in Uncharted 4. So always just take the time to scavenge and look around. And with that fight, that's basically the end of Chapter 3. So go ahead and turn the wheel up here. Nadine will bring the Jeep through. There's no reason for you to run all the way back to the Jeep, so don't waste time doing that. Go ahead and jump onto this wall here, and then just simply drop down into the Jeep to trigger the end of Chapter 3. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of the walkthrough so far in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, and if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe if you get the chance. And I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'll see you in Chapter 4.